What's up YouTube, Tenchi Arizonia, the angry Dracolope of the Jackalope crew here, and as you can see there is no Stars and Stripes flag behind me. That is because it has been packed up along with most of the other things in my office. Right now the only things left in here are pretty much my computer, my TV, my Xbox One and my Predator mask hanging on the wall over there. Anyway, this could be one of the last videos I shoot in this location, if not the last, so what is it about? Well, it is kind of a first impressions of the watch I'm currently wearing, which is the Invicta Pro-diver 8932. I'm not going to be going over the specs of the watch in this video. If you want to see the specs, go and watch the unboxing video. You'll find a link to it in the description of this video. Also, if you want to go watch a channel that actually knows way more about watches than me, go and watch Simucom Reviews. I will leave a link to his channel in the description of this video. If you go and check him out, tell him the angry Dracolope sent you. Now, onto this watch. I'm going to take it off for now. And there are some things I like about this watch. And there is one thing I absolutely friggin' despise about it. And I'm going to start with the one thing that I really despise about this watch. Now, as I said, this is the Invicta Pro-diver. So its intended purpose is as a dive watch. No problem with that, it will function as it is rated down to 200 meters or 660 feet of depth. However, the thing I take issue with is the 120 click unidirectional bezel on this watch. It is not very easy to manipulate, and in my opinion, for a dive watch, being able to easily manipulate your bezel, or relatively easy, you don't want it too easy, otherwise it could slide out of alignment. Being able to manipulate with relative ease the unidirectional bezel is extremely important. Now, when I compare it to this watch, my Casio Edifice chronograph, you can see immediately the size difference. But the bezel on the Casio is way easier to manipulate than the one on the Invicta. And the one on the Invicta is actually so difficult to manipulate, I'm not even going to attempt it in this video. Now, aside from that one thing, which absolutely drives me up the wall, guys, aside from that one thing being unidirectional bezel, and I'm not a diver so it's not essential for me, but it is a gripe. Aside from that, I really do like this watch. In fact, oh, and I just realised I had it upside down, so sorry about that. Let me just do that again. You can see the difference in size here. I think I've got this one upside down now as well. Yeah, I did. Right. Now you can see in comparison, the bezel on this one is 120 clicks, unidirectional, same on this watch. So same on the Casio and on the Invicta. The Casio is far easier to manipulate than the Invicta's, to the point that I'm not even going to try manipulating the bezel on this watch. And as I said again, that is the only thing I do not like. It's the one thing I absolutely despise about this watch. Now the crystal on this watch is mineral crystal. It's not hard lex, it's not flame fusion, it's just your basic mineral crystal. And that is sufficient because I would consider this a dress watch. Whereas this is a watch you can wear out and about on your adventures and not really have to worry about it because the crystal on the Casio is sapphire. Now, I don't mind mineral crystal on a watch like this because it still does have some scratch resistance. It's far above acrylic, obviously, it's even above normal glass, but you may want to be a little more careful with it. Contrary to some of the reviews I have seen on this watch, the date window is perfectly aligned, so I've got no complaints there. I actually like the date window. It makes the date a lot easier to read, especially when you require glasses for close-up work like I do. So I do like that feature of this watch. I also like the fact that the bracelet has every single link marked with the Invicta brand. I don't know how well that's going to show up on camera, if at all. So sorry guys if it ain't showing up too well, but I'm doing what I can with what I've got at the moment. It is a standard fold over clasp. Again, I like this style of clasp. Personally, I have nothing against butterfly clasps, but there is a hell of a lot less to go wrong on a basic fold over clasp. There is lume on the 12 o'clock position of the unidirectional bezel, as well as on the indices for the minute markers. So that is good. The hands also have lume. All three, the minute, the second and the hour hand, all have lume. It's not the strongest lume out there, but one thing I will tell you now is that the lume on this watch, despite the fact that this is around a £39–40 watch, £38 something when I bought it, so around $45, and this is £100 or $120 watch when I bought it. The lume on the Invicta is far superior to the lume on the Casio. And, by the way, the Casio doesn't have lume on all the indices. It doesn't have lume on the indices at all. In fact, it only has it on the hands. So that is something else I prefer on the Invicta over the Casio. Though I still really do like my Casio. You do have the Invicta branding on the side of the case. Oh, and the case diameter, by the way. The case diameter is 37.5 millimeters. The case diameter on the Casio is 54 millimeters. So yeah, this is a very nice watch. If you were looking for a good quality watch at a low cost, I would highly recommend Invicta. I'll try and give you some close-up shots of it now. I can't really see what I'm doing. Hopefully you can see the face properly there. I'll show you the case back if I can. And by the way, the flash on my phone is so bright it is actually charging the lume up. There's the case back. And I don't know if I can get it for you, but I will if I can. Don't know if you can see there, the links of the bracelet have the Invicta branding. Now let me put this watch back on. And I'll tell you now, I had to have 3 links taken out of this watch because I have a 7.5-inch wrist and the default bracelet size on this watch is 9 inches. So if you've got a larger wrist than me, you won't have an issue. If you've got a smaller wrist than me, you won't have an issue. You will have to spend a few quid or a few bucks, depending on whether you're in the UK or the United States, to have the bracelet adjusted though. Or alternatively, you can go out and get yourself a watchmaker's or a watch repair toolkit for around £13–14, and then you can do all the maintenance yourself, battery replacement and adjusting your bracelet. I wish I'd done that, honestly, although it did not cost much to have a bracelet adjusted. I have to admit this, because this is one thing I do prefer greatly over the Invicta to the Casio. I like the Casio's resin strap, or silicone rubber strap, I'm not too sure which it is, but I prefer the stainless steel bracelet of the Invicta. For the price, honestly, the Invicta is a great watch. And yeah, the lume is significantly better than the Casio Edifice's lume, simply because this has it on the minute markers and the Casio Edifice here does not. So, my advice, ignore the naysayers, get yourself an Invicta, they are well worth the money. And by the way, if you want a more upmarket version of the Invicta Pro-diver, there is an automatic version, and there are also Invicta Reserve versions, which are beautiful. As I said earlier, go check out Simicom reviews, especially if you want someone more knowledgeable about watches than me. You will find his channel linked in the description of this video, and you will also find a link to the unboxing video of this watch, which has more detailed specs, in the description as well. Anyway, that's all for now. If you like it, please subscribe, comment and share, and remember, be good to each other.